Rian Johnson'ın hem senaristliğinde hem de yönetmenliğinde çekilen Looper, yakın gelecekte geçen bilim kurgu ve aksiyon sinemasına harmanlarken başrollerde hiç de yaşlanmayan kurt Bruce Willis ve çıtasını her filmde yükselten Joseph Gordon-Levitt oynuyordu. Filmin yapım notlarından bahsetmek gerekirse büyük bir kısmı New Orleans'ta, bir kısmı da Şangay'da çekilmiş. Bruce Willis'in gençliğini oynayan Joseph Gordon-Levitt ise Bruce Willis'e benzemek için epey çaba sarf etmiş. 3 saat boyunca makyaj masasına oturmak zorunda kalmış. 2012'nin en iyi yapımlarından olan ve önümüzdeki sene Oscar yarışında rakiplerini bir hayli terletecek olan Looper'ın şimdi kamera arkasını seyredelim.
Hi, I'm Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and I'm starring with Bruce Willis in the new movie Looper. That was written and directed by my good friend here, Mr. Rian Johnson.
Looper is a very gritty, grounded sci-fi action movie.
Sort of a down-to-earth Blade Runner kind of feel.
12 Monkeys world.
That's actually one of my favorite things about this movie is it feels real. Like it's that style of sci-fi that could actually exist in 30 years. Just sort of frightening.
Kind of scary, actually.
Time travel has not yet been invented, but 30 years from now, it will have been.
Looper is a time travel action movie, and basically, a Looper is a specialized assassin who lives in the movie's present day, but works for a mob in the future.
So what these crime syndicates do is they use time travel, they zap their victim back into the past, and a Looper assassinates them and disposes of the body.
The Loopers live very much the good life. They're paid well, they party, they live in this lifestyle which is kind of sex, drugs, rock and roll kind of existence.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt plays a killer, and his job gets greatly complicated when his future self is sent back, and he has orders to kill him. And the movie is kind of a cat and mouse game of what happens from there.
My character gets his future self sent to him. He's Bruce Willis, and so he gets the better of me, and he gets away. And so I have to find him, because if you let your loop run, your life is as good as done.
I'm sorry.
It's really emotional. It's not just science, and it's not what you think of or what I think of when I normally think of science fiction. There are a couple love stories that are woven through it that is why people are. Those stories are why people do what they do in the film.
Towards the beginning of the story, all the loops are getting closed. Everyone's sort of getting sent their future self to kill, which leads one to believe that something's going on in the future that's disrupting the whole looper operation. But when my character gets his future self sent to him, basically I failed to do it. He's Bruce Willis, and so he gets the better of me, and he gets away. And so I have to find him, because if you let your loop run, your life is, you know, as good as done.
What's brilliant about Joe is that he's kind of a shapeshifter, you know. He is able to play such a diverse range of characters, and he's also a fantastic mimic. And so he took on that Bruce Willis voice and that New Jersey twang. You know, he worked really tirelessly to watch Bruce work and on his films and in interviews, just to see how he moved, how does he look, how does he check someone out, how does he do all of those things. It was incredibly detailed work and prep that he did, and I think it shows, because I think Joe is kind of unrecognizable in it.
Marker. And action.
It's an honor is really a strange thing to see someone that looks like a young version of yourself. And he's a great actor. I love his work, and I just love what he did in this film. He picked up some of my cadence of speaking.
Ready and action.
I think every guy my age idolizes Bruce Willis a little bit. You know, I was a kid when the first Die Hard came out, and I always wanted to see the new ones when they would come out. But then beyond Die Hard, you know, he's the star of Pulp Fiction. You know, he's in Sin City, he's in 12 Monkeys. I mean, this is a guy, I don't know how many other huge action stars there are who have also been in some of the greatest movies of recent times. And that's Bruce for you. He is as he's actually even, I think, more impressive in person than he is on screen, to be honest. He's huge. I never thought he was so big. Bruce is actually a really big, broad, like, imposing dude. Which is interesting because his attitude is the opposite of that. He's the most gentle, understated, just graceful, chilled out guy.
He's my favorite director ever. I think he knows that. I think I told him. He's the best director I think I've worked with. He's not only got a fantastic point of view, and it's very clear, and he's got a very clear opinion and perspective on things all the time, because he wrote it, but at the same time he's not precious about it, so he's very encouraging of collaboration.
It's a time travel action movie, and in it, Joseph Gordon-Levitt plays a killer who works for a mob in the future, and his job gets greatly complicated when his future self is sent back, and he has orders to kill him, and the movie is kind of a cat and mouse game of what happens from there. One of the centerpieces of the movie, smack dab in the middle of it, there's this long dialogue scene between Joe and older Joe that takes place in a diner where they just sit across the table from each other and kind of have it out. And that was so much fun to shoot because you got these two great actors just sitting across the table, you know, bantering back and forth. That's always fun to watch. It was also cool to see